Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to episode 58 of the Casual Weebs podcast. Listen, we're a little late here, but it's okay because we have plenty of awesome stuff to talk about. Gonna be kind of quicker this episode, but there's drama in anime. It's absolutely disgusting. It's insane, but it's a lot of fun. Listen, a lot of fun videos dropping. I believe this week as well, we're gonna be dropping a Devil May Cry video. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's on Netflix. It has 8 episodes, and it dropped the full season. You should definitely check it out. On top of that, I think next week we're dropping the check-in to this season. And let me just say, there has been some sleepers. There has been some animes that came out of nowhere, and it's like, yo, wait, hold on. This is actually really good. And boys, a high dive video. I did one on Hulu where I'm like, oh yeah, guys, if you have Hulu, like here's a bunch of awesome animes that I really enjoyed and that are just really good on the platform. I'm doing one now for High Dive. I've binged like a series a day, like a little bit above a series a day for like the past 5 days. I haven't slept. I feel sick, but it's gonna be fun and it's great because High Dive does 7 day free trials, guys. So it's not like, oh yeah, you should get High Dive to watch these. No, like there's a 7 day free trial. You should check out that video, see what animes really interest you, what you like, and then for 7 free days, enjoy those series. And if you want to take your time with it and you want a month, it's like $5. But boys, I haven't told you about this yet. I want to watch it first. I started seeing a lot of clips on TikTok, right? By the way, guys, link in the description. All right, we post a lot of fun stuff from stream, from the episodes. It's great. But I saw an anime. All right, I got a lot of clips of it, and I'm like, I looked into it. I'm like, we should do a sleeper anime on this. I haven't told Blake about it yet. I'm gonna tell you afterwards. You have to look into it. I think we have a sleeper anime coming out soon. That is gonna be so good. Like, bro, the more I looked into this
Let's
anime,
go.
I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. If you want to try to guess it, guys, all right, ready? A foul-mouthed, badass, absolute milf of an MC. Okay, you know what I mean? Bro, I'm telling you, it's older animation. It's a bit older of an anime, but the MC and like the characters in it just seem so good, and the premise of it seems really good. I saw a lot of clips, and it just looks so goddamn good. I actually saw it on Crunchyroll. If you want a little bit more hint to kind of guess it, I believe it's a 4.8 or a 4.9 rated, which is really high, with only like 9K reviews. So I'm thinking that doesn't be perfect. I'm really excited for this, but as you can tell, there is a shitload of anime content coming, so we hope you guys are excited, hope you guys are ready, because I'm loving this. I don't know about you, man. I mean, having this little bit of a season that's been, dialed back a little bit has allowed us to binge a shit ton of stuff on High Dive and all over. You know what I mean? So it's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it, and the stuff we do have is really good. I cannot wait to get into Windbreaker, especially. To Be Hero X, I got news about that if you didn't know. And then let's bitch about TBATE. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk some shit. We don't do that too often. We're always super optimistic and be like, "Oh yeah, benefit
Yes.
of the doubt. Let's go in. Let's talk that shit." So, what do you want to start with this episode?
Well, let's get into Windbreaker because that was a pretty sick fight. That was definitely a good episode.
I want to say this. You guys have been going crazy. Bro, okay, so I watched these animes kind of late because, I've been binging a lot of other stuff, trying to get it, all finished before the 7 day free trial is over. So I was trying to watch these last minute. I've been seeing so many things from Windbreaker of, what's that guy's name? The guy with the eye patch? Like,
Suo.
yeah, they were posting a clips of him, being like, oh my god, bro needs therapy. Bro, I can't believe bro crashed out like that. I can't believe he got so angry. Oh my god. And then I'm like, oh my god, like, does he, like, kill somebody? And then I watched the episode, I'm like, he kicked a guy in the face, and he just looked serious. Like, what are you guys on about that, like, Suo was, like, going off? Like, seriously, like, they were, like, freaking out, like, oh my god, dude, Suo needs that therapy like, ASAP. I'm like, oh my god, like, is he killed? I'm like, no, he just had aura.
Yeah.
He just had aura, and everyone just couldn't handle it. But I was like, all right, like, it is what it is.
I thought that. Yeah, like I thought it was kind of sick. You get to see that side of Suo
Mhm.
that's like not as composed, but at the
Yeah.
same time, like he definitely didn't crash out. I feel like it was
Yeah.
more of like him kind of stooping to like Keel's level or Shistorin from season one, like not really representing the values, but as somebody who's like read a good bit of the manga, all the like top level captains like Umamiya and the other people we see in the opening,
Hmm.
they're all like kind of like Kaji, like monsters or like berserkers or whatever they call them. It's like they all kind of got that chip on their shoulder, that like fucked
Yeah.
up, they need therapy type attitude when they fight. It's like, if anything, I'd rather have that guy on my team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Suo is cool in my book.
I feel like he just locked in really what it was, because like he has that approach where like he like dances, right? You know what I mean? He kind of just uses the momentum against them. He kind of just throws them, kind of grapples them more. I feel like this was just him locking in and being like, all right, I'm gonna fuck you up. You know what I mean? Like I'm tired of
Yeah,
this. Like
yeah.
let's go. That's all it kind of felt like. And then I love how he instantly just like snaps out of it. Like Sakura grabs his hand and was like, hey man, like he's out cold. Like you fucked him up with that kick, by the way. Like holy, you know what I mean? Bro snoozing.
Real.
And he's like, oh, like what? And he went right back to like his normal self, and that's what it was so funny too. Where it's just like, yeah, wow, I really don't stand a chance against you. You know what I mean? I thought that was really cool too, because he's always comparing himself to Sakura, and he keeps saying like, dude, like I kind of want to spar you. Like I don't think I can like go against you, but I feel like I want to. Like I feel like it'd be a lot of fun. You know what I mean? So him referencing that again was pretty sick.
Dude, I thought the same thing. Like, at first I'm like, oh, there's that bromance with the MC, but like, I feel like he looks up to him in a way like, which is kind of unusual because they're the same age. It's usually like a senior or an upperclassman that they're looking up to. But like, Sakura is a really good leader, and he's like actually pretty composed when he's not, not composed. I think he still lacks like a little emotional maturity,
Yeah.
but like that's kind of like his character development through whatever season 2, season 3, assuming we get one. Like he does mature a little bit, but like Sakura is Sakura. He has that typical like MC trope, but I think in a way Suo saying that kind of like validates him, putting him up for like the year 1 like class leader from,
Yeah.
you remember that from season 1?
Hmm.
I feel like he's like, yeah, like that was the right decision. He is the man. Cuz Suo comes off as like really composed and confident, but I think deep down like he was beating the shit out of that Shistoran dude, just like clowning him, like hurting his feelings, talking down to him. Like Suo's definitely got those demons inside of him. And so does Sakura, but I think they handle it differently.
Yeah, and I mean, watching him against Kyo this time was like so badass, because he even kind of said too. He's like, because he was defending that one kid. He's like, hey man, like you're not in my way. Like actually, I'm better like this. When I'm protecting somebody, I fight better. You know what I mean? And we kind of see him kind of snap this episode and kind of get more serious and locked in. And I feel like that kind of gave us a little bit of a clue, like maybe he's a little bit insecure in himself. You know what I mean? Maybe he's tough on himself, because I feel like a lot of his weaknesses are Sakura's strengths, which is why he doesn't feel like he compares to Sakura or kind of matches up with him. Because in that moment, he wasn't even able to keep his cool, but Sakura was, and I feel like that's why it made him say like damn, like you really are out of my league. Like I really don't stand a chance against you. I feel like that's what he kind of sees in Sakura when we see that admiration, where it's just like damn, like what I'm trying to be is what you are, type of thing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think you're spot on. Like Sakura's kind of trying to take those next steps with like being a leader, and also like he's trying to take on a ton of guys, and he's worrying about the safety of his peers and stuff. So he's like kind of coming up short, and then once Kaji shows up, he locks the fuck in, and it's like, yeah, that's how good Sakura is. But you're right. I think Suo's like really cool too, but we also don't know like a lot of their backstory. That's obviously a huge part of why Sakura is like kind of hot-headed and
Yeah.
maybe like insecure, immature. Maybe those aren't the right words, but like I feel like they all got some kind of backstory that we don't know yet. Our main cast and the guy with the pink hair, you know what I mean? He's like talking about how girls don't like that guy. So
We
good,
gotta talk about
so
him.
good.
What talk about secure and confident, bro. The guy's making fun of him, think like, oh yeah, you're a girl, and he's like, hey bro, like you got no chicks.
You're not very good with girls.
No,
Yeah,
when
he's
he
like, I
said
can
this,
tell you get no bitches.
when he said this too, he's like, if I was a girl, I would not be interested in you. I was like, oh, like why did that kind of hit? Why?
All the boys were like, ooh, ooh.
Like,
Yo,
bro,
and then he like takes his hair down. He like takes his hair down like he's fucking flexing on him. I'm like, damn, that
Yeah.
hurts. You got to change schools after that.
Bro, he looked sick though with his hair down. I feel like he should keep it like that. Like he looked dope. He looked locked in. He looked ready. You know what I mean? And then what's so cool was that he was playing like on defense, playing like how like Suo kind of plays, where he kind of like, all right, I'm gonna let you make the move. And I'm gonna use your momentum against you and kind of like counter. And then he just goes and hits with the pressure point, the chop. And he's like, hey, what was that? Like that was some weak shit. And then he's like, boom, just falls. And it's like. So he wouldn't fuck you, and he beat the shit out of you with one hit. That's crazy.
Yo, that might be the worst ass beating we've seen in Windbreaker so far.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Bro got denied and knocked out within like 3 seconds. Like that's actually kind of fucked. Like that's insane. But hey, I thought I was so fun. Bro, I was dying. I was like, this is amazing. That was such. I'm glad we got to see more about him. And then the other guy, the second year. I mean, we got to see his backstory. Speaking of like not understanding a lot of the backstories, we kind of saw his, and I thought that was really cool as well. And it kind of gave a lot more emphasis or depth to his fight.
Yeah, I agree. Kaji definitely has that, like I was talking about earlier, like that beast inside of him. So it
Yeah.
was cool to kind of see like how he came up and like how all these dudes at Furin are like trying to do the right thing, protect the town, even though they might be like crash outs in middle school. Like they're trying to like set themselves on the right path rather than being like, somebody like in Keel where you're basically beating the shit out of your own teammates and like jumping people and using weapons. Like there's definitely more honor with how Furin rolls. So like I think that's a good thing, but Kaji kind of showed that, especially being like a second year, having a little more status, like what Sakura is kind of working towards next year. I thought
Yeah.
it was good. Like he represented himself well, but also still was like really kicking ass. Like he really locked in for that fight.
I like how he got called out though, because he wasn't like wrong. He's like, oh, you're judging me for threatening my subordinates and making like them fear me. He's like, didn't you just punch Sakura? Like, didn't you just attack
Yeah, he
Yoruga?
does.
I'm like, ah, shit, bro. Like, he's kind of got you there. Like, but like
Gotcha.
that's low key kind of crazy though, because like physically it's the same thing, right? But like we know that it isn't. Because when we saw him punch Sakura, none of us were like, "Oh my god, Kaji! Oh, what a piece of shit!" We're like, "Oh, dude,
Yeah.
he's getting Sakura to like snap out of it." He's, you know what I mean? He's trying to get his head in the game. He did it as like a good thing, not a bad thing. But when it was called out and like said from that perspective, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like he's kind of got you there. like damn.
And he does make a couple good points too, where he's like, you're trying to like keep up this persona,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like I just talked about, and then he really locks in and he's like, "That's the face I'm looking for." Like now you're taking it serious. Doesn't turn out really good for the Keel guy. Basically, cuts him off every time he tries to like play the fucking villain. He basically just punches him in the face. I was like, all right, that's fucking great.
Bro, and then the Keel like leader just goes down. He's knocked out, smiling, and I'm like, bro, like hit him again. Like, don't stop hitting him, bro. I wanted to hit him so bad when he did that. I was like, dude, that's just he's so obnoxious, bro, so obnoxious. But the boys got the dub. They're heading back to school, and what an episode! What a great finale to that fight. I thought that was sick, and I can't wait to see the reaction from everyone else. Because they kind of just like dipped. They out of nowhere they're kind of like, all right, let's go fuck some people up. You know what I mean? I feel like no one else knew where they were or like what was going down. So I'm really excited to kind of get back to the school life, and I feel like it's gonna be sick. I feel like great start to the season. Great start.
Dude, two bangers in a row. Excellent start to the season, and you're right. It'll be cool to see like Umemiya, and maybe we'll get to see the captains and kind of their reaction to it, because it was a little awkward that like season one break, like we had built up to the beginning of the fight, and then the season ends, and like we literally went right into it. So I think it was a perfect way to get started and kind of refresh us. But yeah, looking forward to episode 3 and some of the reactions and what other delinquent gang is going to get their ass kicked next.
Yeah, for real. And it's cool because, I feel like we're going to be talking about 2B Hero X, but I feel like we got to, swap into, what's it called? TBATE here for a second. The beginning after the end.
Get it off our chest, bro.
Listen, I think when I was watching the Windbreaker episode, I'm like, why can't Cloverworks just animate TBATE the way that they? Because that's the one thing about Windbreaker that was so good, especially like this season and last season as well. Like the combat, the action, the fighting is just so smooth and so good, and it's like that was the thing about TBATE that I hated this week. Like we never judge animation. We're always like, all right, yeah, it kind of like is what it is. We even said it last week. We're like, the animation's not like too bad. It just looks like a normal isekai, which we can understand where the problem is. If TBATE's supposed to be like the above all, like better than everything else, it should look better than everything else. It shouldn't look average. But like the fighting in episode 2 was fucking atrocious. It was so bad. Like dude, like, even the author, I think, of TBA has kind of given up on the anime. Like, there's a petition going around to cancel the first season, and it has, like, over 30,000 signatures. Like, it is getting absolute torch, but good news, guys, it's gonna be 24 episodes, so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. Like, I love the way Cloverworks does stuff. I actually just looked up Freerin because I thought it was them, but just because like it's kind of the same like backdrops, like that fantasy isekai kind of world. They were Freerin was done by Madhouse though, so I was wrong about that. But it's so disappointing. Like we made fun of like PNG lock a couple times, but like even in hindsight, like some of those stills like ended up, or like those frames that were like slow or like poorly drawn or whatever you want to call it. Like we got a really good U20 match. So like maybe the beginning wasn't that great, but by the end of the season it was really sick. So like. I'll probably pick it up. I want to watch episode 3, but like I'll see like how it plays out because maybe it gets better. But I did actually see a comment the author made, and I felt bad. Like you were saying, like we're always like pretty positive, and we don't really like grind up, animation that hard because like try to think of like budgetary and time
Yeah.
restraints and people. But the author was like, I don't want it canceled. I want it to play out because like, sometimes you buy a pet with like a disability or like, people in your family aren't always 100% right, and like he's like that you wouldn't want to go back and have a do-over or like if you had problems with your kids. I was like, holy shit, that is like a deep comment. So he's like, it's one thing if you don't like it, but like at least support the people and me who like input into the anime. So that definitely made me feel bad. I thought that was like pretty gut wrenching, but like
And
I don't know. It makes me want to not give up on it, but yeah, I'm with you. Some of the fighting scenes, especially like with the dad, that
yeah.
was like really fucking hard to watch. Not well
Like the
animated.
thing with PNG lock is that we were always saying we're like, all right, yeah, we can kind of see why people are calling it PNG lock. It is what it is, but like these aren't important scenes. It doesn't matter. They don't need to be animated to perfection. As long as the U20 game, the actual important part of the season, is animated well, it's all right. And that's exactly what happened. The thing is that these are like important scenes. You know what I mean? Some of these fights, especially with Arthur himself, you know what I mean, were just done so fucking dirty. Like him sparring against that one dude with the spear was just fucking sad. Like it was just so bad. It looked like you took a still of him
Oh,
and were just
yeah,
moving him
yeah.
around. Like it was so vile. And it's like those are things that need to be animated well. If everything else in the episode sucks and that's good, okay, fine. You know what I mean? But like where it mattered, where it counted, you didn't deliver. And they can guilt trip us all they want. If this really is 24 episodes, that means it's going to be bleeding into the summer season where it's fucking dead. There's no way it survives the summer season because we've kind of hinted about and talked about it. If you haven't seen it, go check out what's coming out in the summer season of anime. It is gross. We have 10 animes. 10 animes that are god tier. You know what I mean? That are just perfect. Shit like Sakamoto Days, Kaiju 8, Dan to Dan. Dude, there's so much. Not to mention, we're literally getting the Chainsaw Man movie. We're getting, like, Demon Slayer movie. Like, the Infinity Castle arc. Like, there's no way it competes at all. Like, it's gone. Like, it's done. You know what I mean? And I think even for this season, it's gone. Because there's still better stuff to watch. There's still, like, more, like, important things to watch. More entertaining things. And, like, I get what they're saying, and they made multiple statements because they were talking about too, like, hey, I can't even cancel it. Like if it gets to a point where like you kind of sign it over and it's on the studio's hands now, it's their responsibility. Like I can't micromanage it. You know what I mean? It's not something I can kind of deal with. So like they're kind of talking about how they don't have too much power to do anything now, but it's like nah, it sucks. But ever since I started reading manhwa and I started reading on Independent Reader's Viewpoint, like manhwa looks really fucking good, and I'm like, I think I'd rather just read it. I think that the manhwa itself for TBATE is probably far better. You know, it's way more aesthetically pleasing. Because that is the thing. I think the story's great. I'm actually really, really into the story. I think that it's really, really good. But like I said, the animation was just so abysmal. I don't think it's gonna be getting better, especially because all your support is gone. You know what I mean? You think with that happening, it's like a sports team when you start ripping them apart in the stadium. Do you think they're gonna come back and make a comeback? Like no, like they're in the trenches now. They feel like shit. They feel bad about it. They're getting so much hate, death threats, and this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? I feel like it's only gonna go downhill, and that sucks because it seems like such a good story, and it seems like yeah, I can see why people absolutely love it. I think it's just better to read. You know what I mean? Why even bother wasting to watch some of these rough fights when you can just read it and it just that's the gold. That's where it's perfect, you know?
You make a really good point. It probably would be better to just read it. And another really good point is if this is 24 episodes, it will bleed into the summer season. So you want to come out strong. You know what I mean? If you
Yep.
get overshadowed in the summer, at least you had a successful fan base and, oh, we got smoked by like the five biggest animes in the industry. Like, yeah, well, but like you're not going to have that fan base. And like, I got to say, 2 episodes in, it's not like you have 6 or 7 and it's like, well, it's been mid. Like you had 2 mid episodes. And I'm like not. I like a good cliffhanger. Having him like fall off the cliffside, like he's gonna die at the
Literal
end of episode
cliffhanger.
2. Like, yeah, that was low effort. I'm not trying to like trash it because like, yeah, I haven't read the Mon one. I'm sure, there might be scenes that are missing and details that are added and taken away when
Yeah.
it gets animated. But yeah, very very tough start. And like you said, I don't really see the support now. So how can you expect it for a 24 episode anime?
And it's not even gonna get overshadowed in summer. It's getting overshadowed now. Like I don't see any positive
True
things
that.
about TBATE right now. Like it's really rough, and it's not even like hopping on the bandwagon. Because like I said, like last episode, podcast episode, we were talking about like, hey, like it doesn't look too bad, but like yeah, these fights were awful, like really really bad.
The
So it,
training scene, with the spears, I forgot about that. That was, and like, you don't want to like
mhm.
trash it, but that was really low effort. We've seen a lot of anime. That was pretty bad.
And that was like huge too. Like that was an important thing. You know what I mean? Because like that was him showing the I don't know what you want to call them. That they're like that he's strong. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, like, I want to get some exercise before bed. Like let's test the kid out. Let's see if he really is a genius. You know what I mean? This was his moment to prove himself, and he did. Like he kind of forced the other guy to kind of go like, a little bit more aggressive to like, dude, you like hold back. He's 4. You know what I mean? But like he was kind of pushed there. Arthur was like, hey man, like if you sleep on me, bro, I'm gonna take you out. Like it's that simple.
Yeah.
And like it was such a cool moment, and like you can tell that they tried to animate it because like his legs were gonna glow. By the way, his legs glowing looked like shit as well. It looked like it was blurred. Like
Yeah, even like that animation or like the
yeah,
magic is very like it reminds me of like old Dragon Ball Z. You know what I mean? Like the aura, like we've been exposed to so much like cool shit. Or you got like hockey, we're watching Bleach, you're seeing all these Bankais and like, Jujutsu Kaisen domains, and you just have like this weird colored sphere over like his hands or his feet or
yeah,
whatever. It's like, not really feeling the aura here.
yeah. And it's crazy, bro. I think for ACAT, like they're done. I don't see anybody being like, oh, AK animated this. Okay, yeah, I'm done. They're like I'm not gonna watch those because like this was rough. This was your one chance, and they absolutely fucked it. And we're also not hearing anything from them. I mean, we're hearing a lot from the author, which I do feel really really bad for them. You know what I mean? Because like they were so excited about this, and they're apparently tweeting it out like, oh yeah, new episode's coming, and now they're just quiet.
Just don't cancel it. Yeah,
they're just
I
like
know. Like I feel bad
they're
for
just like
them because the author was like, "Oh, this is like my first anime, so like, now I
I
understand like how much
know.
input and like directive control you can have, and like it just doesn't always work out." So like, even if this is like unsuccessful or whatever, like, you would want to see them come up with something else or try again. Like
Mhm.
I do feel bad for the author
Yeah,
because
I
they
feel
were
so
really
bad.
hyped about it.
But yo, that's all the more reason to then just read it. You know what I mean? Because that's even something that they said,
True
where it's
that.
like if the animation's bad, well, like it's always gonna like the positive is that it's gonna bring more people to the actual manhwa. And it seems like they have more of the control with the manhwa. You know what I mean? So if they're gonna make any money, if they're gonna make more from the manhwa, I think than from the anime. Because you got to imagine that Crunchyroll's going to take a cut, the animation studio is going to take a cut, the dub studio is going to take a cut. You know what I mean? There's so many people that are going to take a cut. Where it's just like, yo, I rather just go, help out the source. You know what I mean? Especially if that's something that they put all their time and energy to. That's the thing that's actually the best. Yeah, I think reading it in this case is just the best way to go. I feel so bad for them though, because yeah, like they said, it was their first like anime. They're probably so excited. They had something that's so popular, and then this happened. Oh, bro, I feel so bad for
Tough.
them. like,
That is really tough. But you make a good point. Like you can still support an artist or,
yeah,
a group, even if they don't really hit with their work. It's not the end of the world. So yeah, just read it, and I'm sure it's far better.
yeah. People are fucking vicious, bro. People, people are,
Through that.
people are so upset right now. They're going in. I feel awful. I feel so bad, but like, hopefully it gets better. I just read it, and if not, just drop the anime. If it's a problem, I feel like just giving them more hate. I just feel really bad. So, yeah, it is what it is. If you don't mind it, I mean, yeah, keep watching it because it does seem like it has a really really good story. But if the animation is a problem, yeah, like I said, you always can read it. And what else also has 24 episodes apparently this season? To be Hero X. Actually, apparently a lot of the
Hey.
animes in this season all have 24 episodes. There's a lot that I'm seeing. Like it's crazy. There's actually
Oh wow.
very few 12 episode animes. I've been told some are 13, some are 14. I think Kowloon Generic Romance is a 13 episode anime. Like there's a lot. But what's really cool about 2 Hero X that I'm kind of realizing is that Nice isn't the MC. So apparently, what's going down and what's happening is that they're blocking off. They're doing blocks of episodes that focus on different heroes, which I think is
Oh
really
wow.
cool. Yeah.
Now that's a really interesting way to set up like the
Hmm.
world and like the characters and stuff. That's awesome. I did not know that, but I think that would give this a lot of depth. And like, if you're gonna do 24 episodes, like you need to have even like Solo Leveling, that arc progression, like to keep people engaged and interested,
Yeah.
that's like a very easy and successful way to do that. That's pretty sick.
And what's really cool is I keep seeing a bunch of like animations and art of the other heroes. You know, the other heroes in the top 10. Dude, they look sick. So the fact that it's not like, oh, they're just a background character that we're going to see every now and then, Nice is going to interact with them. It's like, no, like, they're actually going to get their own chunk of episodes that focuses purely on them. That's awesome. I feel like that can be, like, very, very cool. It's just, you always have to kind of keep it interesting. And, like, it's a cool concept, but it can be kind of messed up a little bit. Because at what point does it go into, like, something more consistent? You know what I mean? So I'm really interested
Yeah.
to see how they play it out. It seems like a great idea, and again, with the animation being as good as it is, with so far the story being as good as it is, I don't see them fucking it up. I see it being like very successful and being a very very cool concept that makes this anime stand out even more than it already does somehow. So I'm stoked for it. I'm excited.
I didn't know that. That really like has me interested. I think you're right though. Like you don't want to take too long and spend too much time like building other stuff. If you have 24 episodes, you do have plenty of time, but like it does need to kind of like funnel into like a unified plot or like you know what I mean? You have to have like your MCs and your villains and all that stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that out. But I mean, the first two episodes, a lot of like shock value, some really crazy moments, some funny shit. I
Baited on the
think
cliffhanger. What the fuck was that?
I know like
What was that?
I guess like in context with episode two, it makes sense, but like even just getting to see Nice and Moon's like chemistry outside of like the whole scripted part of it was like kind of cool. It gives you like a
Yeah.
look inside and like I don't know, it made them like better characters than just these like superficial superheroes, if you will.
Yeah, like episode two is such a roller coaster because at first, you know, episode one ended with Moon's head like bashed in on the bed, right? And now she's all of a suddenly back. So you're kind of wondering, is episode two gonna kind of show that maybe there's like a new Moon? You know what I mean? Kind of like the same thing that happened with Nice, where they just had someone replaced. But like that wasn't the case at all. They completely ignored it and just never brought it up again. So I don't know if they're just gonna want to psychologically mess with us. But hey, you do you. I think the Nice and Moon like romance was so adorable. I thought that it was awesome the way that like they kind of clashed at first, you know what I mean? But then she ended up kind of like growing on him a bit. You know, he kept doing these nice things and kind of like understanding her a bit, and then she kind of started like, you know, not like feeling like romance like a romantic for him or anything, but like started to kind of look at him like a friend. Where you know she sees the swing, and she's like, "Oh, like, this actually seems fun." And you know, actually, this guy's not that bad to talk to. You know what I mean? Like, I actually like being around this guy now. I thought that that was so cool. It made the anime, this episode, so enjoyable, which is what made the ending so hard. It's like, why does Moon have to go, bro? I want more of these moments. Like, oh, it's bullshit, but she's happy, so it was a good ending for episode two.
I agree. It was cool to see them and like the whole, especially the scene with the swing. I feel like is kind of the climax of it. The buildup of like trust versus fear. At first, she's like, "Yeah, you're not nice. I don't really know who the fuck you are." And like, you're right. He kind of goes out of his way. I can't remember his real name. Whoever Nice actually is,
Yeah,
the
I can't remember
animator kid.
either.
Yeah, whatever. It's
Yeah, it
nice.
doesn't matter. It's
He
nice.
like he does all these things for her, and like she starts having fun, and it's like, oh, this is like a good example of them like building trust and like how that is going to play into like their power system and stuff. And as we get to meet these different heroes, I'm sure you'll have different you know, different ways they get their powers, obviously different powers, but like it'll be interesting to see like the fear side of it too. I think that's like really unique. And I said that last week too. Like it'll be like a cool kind of power system to see how they employ that.
Yeah, and that was something that you're kind of talking about was like it's not just trust that makes them stronger, but it actually, you know, kind of says what the powers are. Because she even said, like, my teleport gun only kind of goes to your side because that's what people want. They want me with you. So
Yeah.
that's where my powers kind of go with you. And that was actually so sweet that he, you know, wanted everyone to pray for her to have, like, freedom and to be happy, you know, and that ended up, you know, leading her portal to, you know, some, like, sick ass island it looks like, relaxing as fuck. So it seems like she's gonna be enjoying herself. But like
Yeah.
that's dope. But what's also really cool is that it's like the boys, where it's like more of a business, where like the villains aren't even real. You know what I mean? Like we saw that his nemesis was actually his best friend. Which, by the way, can you guys let me know? I've been trying to search for this all over the place. It was that Alejandro Saab that voiced the arch nemesis, like the rival. It sounded just like
Ooh,
Alejandro Saab, the English dub. You know what I mean? Like I was like, is that him? I couldn't find it.
I'm always so wrong. I'll be like, oh, no way, that's so and so. And then I look it up. It's like, oh, no, the fuck it's not. The only one I got was Johnny Bosch is the lead, the MC in Lazarus.
Oh,
which is
really?
Ichigo's voice. I was like, yeah, very easy to pick. But I swear, every time I'm like, oh, that's so and so. It's like, no, it's not. The fuck is wrong with me?
Dude, the only person I can get is Alejandro Saab. Like, I know I was talking to guys about High Dive. Well, I watched Oshinoko season 2. The producer, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I hear Alejandro Saab's name, like his voice.
It's
I
him.
looked it up. It is him. He voices somebody in Oshinoko season 2, which is why I don't know if the Nemesis is or isn't voiced by Alejandro Saab, because I was able to find it really easily because I didn't even know the producer's name in Oshinoko that he voices. But for this one, I just couldn't find anything. I couldn't even find the name or the character even coming up. Besides, I was like, who's nicest nemesis? And it's like, it just didn't say. So I can't find it. If you guys know, let me know. But I heard that and I was like, oh, is that him? He's the only voice I
Yeah.
can recognize. But that whole story with the nemesis and Nice was so cool. How they're actually like best friends. You know what I mean? And it was all part of like a play, a performance. You know that the villains aren't even real. So that's gonna be cool. Like, is that with everybody? Does everybody have staged villains, or is there going to be a true villain in this anime?
Yeah, I would like to think that it all kind of funnels into some kind of plot point. You know what I mean? If they have these powers, but I mean, it's still like pretty fresh. We didn't really gotten into any of the other characters, so it'll be cool to see like, yeah, did they all have like actual storylines and villains, which, like you said, could kind of get messy.
Yeah,
Or are they all kind of like, being formed into a team, and it's just like a more in-depth look at how they, like I said, kind of funnel into this main plot point or fight like a main antagonist or group.
yeah. So I'm really excited to see how it kind of plays out, especially like when you think about it, like towards the boys, because that's what kind of seems like like the same thing, where it's like nice, dies, and the one person didn't give a shit. She's like, "Oh, we're all about the money. Like we'll figure it out." I wonder if there's going to be that interaction, like kind of like they have in the boys, where like they kind of turn against each other. You know what I mean? Like, are some of these heroes actually going to be villains? You know what I mean? Are they going to be like, actually, fuck this, I hate you guys? You know, the whole aspect of trust, building their power is what actually makes it interesting, because you can just like lose your power then. So it's going to be really interesting, the dynamics that we're going to see moving forward, because there's going to be so many different dynamics, so many different situations, especially if we each chunk of episodes focus on different characters. So I'm really excited. I keep seeing like little hints or teasers at some chick who's one of the heroes. She looks awesome. Her design seems awesome. So I'm hoping that, I don't know how many episodes we have more with Nice, but I'm hoping that the next one focuses on her, like the next block of episodes. But she seems so sick, and hopefully we get more into the other heroes, because we've kind of heard a little bit about them, but we haven't really seen the top 10. And I cannot wait to see them. I'm guessing that the episodes are made based off of each of them and not other people.
Yeah, and like it's tough to assume the pacing. You would think, we'll say, if every hero gets two-ish, 2.5 episodes, and you like kind of keep moving. I mean, 14 to 16 episodes, you could have a lot of like surface, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
dive into these characters to funnel into something at the end of the season. So like, I feel like that's probably a good guess, like 2-3 episodes. But I mean, we haven't been introduced to anybody else yet. But now that Moon's out of the picture, I expect, yeah, some other characters to probably start taking shape and showing up.
And by the way, too, the animation in this anime, I know it's already been like talked about, so good, because that whole fight was awesome. That whole fight
Crisp.
was fucking clean. I loved it. Again, I loved the dynamic where the villain was actually his best friend, and it was like he just wanted to talk. The whole Moon's dying scene was so sweet. And I hope we do actually have a couple of episodes or two left with Nice. I don't know how many, again, each character gets, or if that even is 100% true. But like it seems like the one lady, the business lady, has like plans with him or for him, but she's like, oh, I didn't expect him to be such a good actor. It's like, no, bitch, he has emotions. Like, he actually feels sad.
Yeah.
Like,
Go figure.
yeah, I know, crazy, right? He's got emotions. Oh my god. But like, I want to see like what else they do with him. You know what I mean? If the whole thing was just based around him and Moon, it is what it is. I enjoyed the past 2 episodes. But yeah, I can't wait to dive more into this, because this anime has me so excited. It is easily the best anime of this season so far, in my opinion. The animation is clean, the characters are cool, the story is awesome. So I just, I trust you guys. And that's a great thing. When you prove yourself and you're like, hey, we're pretty good anime, it's like, all right, yo, take the wheel. I'm not going to say shit. I'm just going to show up every week and I'm going to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I can't wait.
I'm definitely with you. It's been 2 really explosive episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Between that and Windbreaker, I mean, I feel like those are a pretty good like step ahead of everything else this season. And there's like a lot of really good sleepers, but some of them are still like slow burning and kind of slow to start. So like we'll have to see. But Those first two episodes were absolutely exciting.
I mean, to me, Fire Force is starting to spark up. I mean, Kowloon Genetic Romance, we kind
Yeah,
of
true
took
that.
a back seat this episode. We kind of, I feel like, built more around what the world's like because, like, everyone's into plastic surgery. You know what I mean? And you're going in for these medical tests. It's kind of building kind of the atmosphere that they're in. You know what I mean? But like Fire Force, bro. Oh my God, Joker is back. Just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Joker is the man. I absolutely love him. I love we're teaming up with him. Betty Maru's back. Like, they were talking about him. We're like, hey, did the Eighth contact you? And like, nah, they're probably trying to like keep us out of the shit. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, we're going to war with the government. And I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for it. It seems like it's gonna really be like heat up and get good. So like, I'm stoked. I feel like To Be Hero X is gonna have the hottest start, and it's gonna kind of fall behind Fire Force. I feel like Fire Force is really gonna ramp up and pop off, especially because the animation is just flawless. The characters are sick. The arcs are always great, and it is always just Fire Force delivers. Okay, Fire Force just knows how to deliver. So I feel like when we get into this arc, it's going to absolutely control the entire season. I'm most excited for that one. But right now, To Be Hero X, what I'm looking forward to every week.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like episode 2 really set up the next coming episodes for Fire Force, but I'm with
Yeah.
you. That definitely seems like a huge arc, and there's a lot of hype behind it. And yeah, Fire Force never misses. So I'm sure that'll like pick up and kind of be at the forefront. But yeah, got to give To Be Hero X credit. Very, very strong start.
Yeah, I mean, so far this has been a solid season. Like I said, guys, the check-in is coming next week when we have all of our 3 episodes. So I guess I'm kind of going to be forced to watch TBATE episode 3 before it gets dropped and I get to reading. But yeah, it's going to be a fun video. There's a lot of good stuff out there this season, even a lot of stuff that we didn't mention. So we hope you guys are enjoying. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Nah, good week, man, and there's a lot to be excited for. So can't wait for week 3. All these episode 3's got me excited.
Yeah, I'm hyped. He's hyped. Hope you're hyped. All right, ton of anime content dropping. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. Again, sorry that we're a bit late scheduling. I, believe it or not, got sick because I was completely sleep deprived and watched way too much anime. But like, hey, it was worth it. So that is it.
Next week, territory.
Exactly. Took one for the team. All right. So next week we will be on time, I promise. But that is it, guys. And peace later.